Did you know there are places on Earth where one step can take you into a completely different country, and sometimes even a different time zone, law, or culture? Borders are supposed to separate nations, but in some cases, they are so strange, confusing, or even funny that they make no sense at all. Today, we're diving into the 10 weirdest borders around the world that you simply won't believe exist. Let's start with one of the strangest of them all, the Belgium-Netherlands border in the town of Barl. At first glance, it looks like a normal European village, but when you walk through the streets, you suddenly notice white crosses and numbers painted on the ground. These lines actually mark the border between Belgium and the Netherlands, and here's the shocking part. Sometimes the border literally cuts through houses, restaurants, and shops. Imagine having your living room in Belgium, but your kitchen in the Netherlands. Even crazier, people pay taxes depending on where their front door is located. So, if your door is in Belgium, you follow Belgian rules. If your door is in the Netherlands, then Dutch law applies, even if the rest of your house is in another country. Next up, the Diomede Islands between Russia and the United States. These islands are only 3.8 kilometers apart across the Bering Strait, but here's the insane twist. One island belongs to Russia, called Big Diomede, and the other belongs to the United States, called Little Diomede. Now, you might think they're close neighbors, but in reality, they're separated by something much stranger, the international date line. That means when it's Monday on the US side, it's already Tuesday in Russia. Just by looking across the water, you can literally see tomorrow. People call them the Tomorrow Island and the Yesterday Island. It's a border not just between two countries, but between two different days. And then we have the North Korea-South Korea border, known as the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ. On paper, it's just a line that separates two countries. In reality, it's one of the most heavily guarded and tense borders in the world. Soldiers from both sides stare each other down 24/7, and the buildings where they meet are split exactly in half. Half of the room belongs to the north, the other half to the south. Tourists can actually stand in the room with 1 foot in North Korea and 1 foot in South Korea. But the tension is so extreme that every move is carefully watched. This border is not just weird, it's terrifying. Now let's fly to Spain and Morocco, specifically the city of Ceuta in North Africa. This is Spanish territory, even though it's located on the African continent. It has a huge fence that separates it from Morocco, and what's shocking is that this border is often crossed by people trying to get into Europe illegally. The sight is surreal. You're standing in Africa, but technically you're in Spain, which means you're also in Europe. It's a tiny piece of Europe on the African continent, creating one of the most unusual borders in the world. Another fascinating example is Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain. You might think it belongs to one country, but the truth is, the border between Nepal and China, Tibet, runs right through the summit. That means if you climb to the very top of the mountain, you're technically standing in two countries at once. Climbers often joke that they can have 1 foot in China and the other in Nepal while standing on the roof of the world. Imagine taking a selfie at 8,148 meters with two countries behind you. That's just half of the shocking list, and we're only getting started. The second half includes borders hidden in rivers, strange enclaves, and even countries that are completely surrounded by others. Stay tuned because the rest will blow your mind even more. Let's continue with another strange border that will leave you speechless. In Africa, there's a country called Lesotho, and it's completely surrounded by South Africa. Yes, you heard that right. Lesotho is an independent nation, but it has no coastline, no neighbors, just South Africa all around it. This type of country is called an enclave, and Lesotho is one of the most extreme examples. Imagine being a country within a country. You have to cross into South Africa no matter where you want to go. Another bizarre border is between Egypt and Sudan, a place called Bir Tawil. This tiny piece of land is so strange because nobody claims it. It's one of the only truly unclaimed territories on Earth. The reason? Both Egypt and Sudan disagree on where the real border should be. Each country claims the more valuable land nearby, but neither wants Bir Tawil because it has no resources, no water, and no real population. That means Bir Tawil is technically a no man's land. If you go there, you won't be under the control of any government. Some people have even tried to declare themselves the king of Bir Tawil, but of course the world doesn't recognize it. Still, it's insane to think there's a piece of land on Earth that belongs to no country at all. Let's move to another incredible case, the border between Norway and Russia. In this frozen, remote region, there's a single border crossing with a strange rule. If you try to cross illegally, you won't be stopped by a fence or guards. Instead, there's just a line of metal spikes and warning signs in the snow. What makes it even weirder is that people are forbidden to wave, shout, or gesture at each other across the border. Yes, you can literally get in trouble for waving at someone on the other side. Now, one of the funniest borders in the world is the airport in Geneva, Switzerland. The Geneva airport actually straddles the border between Switzerland and France. Inside the terminal, there's a special corridor that allows people to go directly into France or Switzerland without passing through normal customs. That means you could land in Switzerland, walk a few steps, and suddenly find yourself in France. For travelers, it's convenient, but also incredibly strange. Another shocking border is in Alaska and Canada. There are two small towns, Hyder in Alaska and Stewart in Canada. Hyder is so isolated that the only way to reach it is through Canada. In fact, the town is so closely connected to Canada that they use Canadian money, Canadian phone numbers, and even Canadian electricity. Technically, it's US territory, but it feels more Canadian than American. And finally, one of the most beautiful but strangest borders, Iguazu Falls, on the border of Argentina and Brazil. This massive waterfall system has dozens of cascades stretching across both countries. If you stand on one side, you're in Brazil, enjoying the panoramic view. If you cross to the other side, you're in Argentina, feeling the thunder of the falls right up close. It's one of the few borders in the world where both sides are equally breathtaking. So there you have it, 10 of the weirdest, most unbelievable borders on Earth. From islands where you can see yesterday and tomorrow, to houses split in half by lines on the ground, to mountains, waterfalls, and even unclaimed land. Borders are supposed to separate us, but in these cases, they remind us how strange and fascinating our world really is. Which border shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing facts about our world.